Hi everyone, welcome to the Sunday live stream on the Vinyl Man's channel here. I'm joined tonight by epic people from the vinyl community itself. So we've got Richard from Richard's Vinyl Tap House. We've got Brian, the embryonic robot, all the way from Canada. So this week's theme, there may be others joining soon as well. This week's theme is going to be kind of Sunday morning listening. So if you grab a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, or if you're up early enough to grab some alcohol, is entirely up to you. What kind of music you put on with a cup of coffee or a soft drink or something like that. So that's kind of what we're going to discuss this week. I'll just go around the panel real quick. So, Rich, what have you been up to this week? I noticed you put a video up. I'm on catch up again as usual. Monday's usually my day to catch up on all the videos. So, what have you been up to, mate?
Playing catch up with threads and stuff, and it's just like suddenly a barrage of contests and threads have come up, so I've been doing that. I skipped my Friday live stream because I was working at a school, and I came home and I'm like, yeah, I'm not live streaming tonight, that's not happening. So yeah, yes, last night was putting together the tribute to London contest thread.
Right.
That's a lot of fun from M Fidelity, so definitely check that one out. It's a good little contest. And I also noticed that he's only like at 180 some subs. So bump up his subs too. So good thread contest.
Brian, you're on catch up on these threads. I noticed the greatest hits come out. I was quite pleased with that one.
Yeah, I thought you might be. Yeah, I threads are funny because there's so many and I missed a lot and I was trying to dig some up, and I will do the contest for the London thing for Dave. I'm going to do that when I've made all my notes. The only other thing I did this week is I posted something a few days ago on my recent finds, and I was on the Northern Revolutions stream on Wednesday, which is always fun. But I guess my next video is likely to be the London thing. Of course, tomorrow is Canadians Thanksgiving, so I'm laying low that day. Nothing's happening that day, and then maybe Tuesday I'll get to that. But I look back and my notes are hilarious because I make notes for when I see something that comes up that I want to take part in. So I've been looking back and I have notes for things that were like 4 or 5 months ago. And I was like, should I bother to do this? Is there a statute of limitations? Should I take part in these ancient threads, let them go? And then I think maybe I do. One person jokingly said I did too many threads. Not too many. I do a lot of threads. And I thought, well, should I do a lot of threads or not? So I never know. Whatever. So that's what's been happening. Cool. A lot of deep thought and reflection about threads.
Yeah, you keep, because I've got the notifications that come up on certain channels, and you and Richard be coming up, and I'm like, I'm gonna get to it. And I saw the great hits, and I thought, I guarantee my name's been mentioned somehow in that one.
I don't think I mentioned your name.
Who?
Yeah, exactly. Who's that imbecile? Boz is saying, "Hey guys, happy Sunday." Hey mate, you all right? I will get started to go first. First of all, I'd like to thank all my guests for joining this evening, putting everything down because I know the time schedule is completely different. But we'll get cracking. So I will go first. Now, Brian may know this one. He introduced me to this artist, and I've been listening to this on a Sunday morning for the last couple of weeks. He actually recommended this artist on the last live stream he was on with me, David Atkinson, and Richard, and a few others. And I can't stop listening to this album, and it's The Hold Steady. So I'm really, really enjoying this. It's a fantastic album. It's, like I said, I did a video the other day for September pickups, and I was like, this is not something I normally pick up, but recommendations from the vinyl community itself, from Brian, I really enjoy it. So this is the Hold Steady, and this is Separation Sunday. So it's a great album start to finish. So usually put a cup of coffee on a Sunday morning, and I put this one on. This came on white vinyl, so had a good deal on eBay for this one. I think I picked this up for like £15, so I think that works out about 18 US or Canadian dollars. So I'm really enjoying this at the moment. So thank you, Brian, for that one.
That's good. It's like Separation Sunday on a Sunday.
Yes,
and there are lots of religious themes in that record as well, as I'm sure you picked up on. So yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So if I was to go from here now, Brian, from the
Yeah.
whole steady, what would be the next album would you recommend to go for?
Well, I love their first record. Almost Killed Me, which is fantastic. But I think the next one that's probably a fan favorite is the one after this called Boys and Girls in America, which it's fantastic too. I give a slight preference to this one, but Boys and Girls in America would probably be their second best record. Richard's nodding, so I'm sure he's agreeing with me.
I am. I like the whole steady. I've seen them live a couple of times. They're really good. So definitely.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're fantastic. And I did see them a few years ago, but their first 4 records absolutely are fantastic. The first one is really great too. It's a little rougher, I guess. Maybe he doesn't really have a great singing voice in a way. He kind of sings, but actually he took singing lessons around the 5th album, as I remember reading. But he's got an unusual voice. So if you want like someone with a smooth delivery, that's not your guy. But I think he's writes some great lyrics.
I actually enjoyed the lyrics more than the actual. I enjoyed the music.
Yeah,
and kind of just trying to work out what's going on with while he's talking. And I had to play it a few times to get it, but now I get it. I really like it. So yeah, it's cool. Really cool. So
is that like a Sunday? Is that like Sunday morning, like 8 o'clock in the morning? Is that what you're talking about here? Or is this like later in the day? Oh, that's an interesting choice.
Yeah. But I'm kind of on a Sunday morning. I either do 2 things. I either just randomly pick something, or I'll get the Discogs and give it a quick shake and see what comes up, and then I'll go right. I've got to play it then. So unless it's Stereophonics, and I'm thinking, right, I'll give it another shake.
Or Greatest Hits album. Yeah.
Yes, that is true. But as you'll see, as I go through this collection now, I'm buying more and more non-Greatest Hits because I've hit the peak, I feel, with Greatest Hits now. And I'm picking up recommendations from the vinyl community that people have posted and kind of shown. So, yeah. Cool. Daryl, good afternoon, all watching from my hotel room.
Whoa.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah, stay away from the bar in the room itself, because that'll cost you an absolute fortune, mate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, right, okay, we'll keep going. We'll head off to the tap house now. Richard, over to you, mate.
I was telling Brian before we were going on, this was the perfect topic, because I have so many things I love listening to on a Sunday morning, or just a chill time or whatever. I'm an early bird, so there are days where my eyes pop open. It'll be like 3:30, 4 in the morning, and I'm like, I'm up. I'm not watching TV. I'm not watching YouTube yet, and it's put on music time. Now, depending on my mood, I could go anywhere from Wake Up the Neighborhood with Husker Du, which we won't go there. So, chill music. Okay. How about Cocteau Twins? Because I absolutely love Elizabeth Fraser's singing voice. She's operatically trained singer. Has an amazing voice. She's an amazing lyricist, even made up lyrics. I don't care. I could listen to her, sing the phone book, and it would be amazing. But Cocteau Twins are, 80s dream pop, if you will, very ethereal, huge atmospheric soundscape type thing. Perfect thing for me with, early morning listening. This is a reissue. I can't remember if it was on colored vinyl. Nope. Just plain old black. But almost any Cocteau Twins album I would be fine with. This is actually not my favorite. My favorite would be Bluebell Knoll, which has Carolyn's Fingers on. And that was my introduction to Cocteau Twins. But this is kind of, I guess, their more, if you will, famous album. Ice Blink Luck, Cherry Colored Funk. What else is on here? Heaven or Las Vegas, of course, and a couple of others. I love their song titles because most of them make no sense at all. It just makes it more interesting, I guess. But I've been a huge fan of just Elizabeth Fraser, even with her guest appearances on Primal Scream, and she's done some other projects. I can't remember the newest one, but it was a Record Store Day issue, and I picked it up, and it was so good. So Cocteau Twins, any that ethereal dream pop thing, I'm all over that for a Sunday morning listen.
Cool, mate. Very, very cool. I actually, yeah, it's for some reason that popped up on Apple Music the other day. And I started listening to a bit and I was like, ooh, this sounds like Richard's cup of tea. This does.
Definitely.
I almost pulled Cocteau Twins off my shelf when I was thinking about this, but I went, I don't know, it chose something else. But whatever. Good record. Good band.
Yeah, it's cool. I started listening to it and I was like, oh, that sounds really, really good. The other thing I was going to say was that I started listening today that come up on Apple Music as well was Gary Newman, 1000 live at the Electronic Ballroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's coming out pretty soon. Yeah, I'm excited about that one.
And what I listened to was My Name in Ruin. That's different. That's different.
Yeah.
That was kind of electronic, kind of rock kind of thing going on there. I was like,
Well, yeah, later Newman is a lot more industrial. It's kind of like more along the lines of Nine Inch Nails, and I absolutely love it. So
yeah, he picked the right thing, man. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you. I was just going to say, yeah, he went in the right direction. He went in the total right direction. Like he could have reinvented himself in many ways, but he picked the right one.
He sure did.
Yeah. It really works with his voice, I think.
Am I assuming correctly, Richard, that's on pre-order?
Actually, it's in my cart on Amazon. I made the mistake of pre-ordering, the one that just came out. Where was that from? The one with a really cool cover, Brian.
From Wembley, the Wembley Arena one.
The Wembley Arena one, with the gorgeous cover. Pre-ordered that from Camp Newman, if you will. Literally cost me about $30 more than if I had ordered it from Amazon like about a month and a half later. And I'm like, I'm not doing that twice.
I never pre-order anything. It's impossible to pre-order anything unless it's on Amazon. I never pre-order anything because the shipping is double. It makes it double the price. Yeah,
exactly.
Well, I think Rob was saying on the live stream on Wednesday that he pre-ordered the Oasis one. I believe, and I think he cancelled in the end and just got it because obviously it's easy in the UK for Oasis for me because they did a British band. So I literally got it on the Thursday, even though it wasn't supposed to get to me on the Monday. And I was like, this must be causing so much mayhem for people, across the sea because like Richard's trying to order stuff from Britain and they want to charge like £30, £40, whatever it is, top of the record, it's insane.
Yeah. Well, there's that. I pre-ordered the Biffy Clyro that came out mid-September. And I'm still waiting for that to ship from Warner US because I don't think they've gotten stock from Britain sent over to their warehouse. I'm still waiting. And I'm like, so I went ahead and I bought a different variant, which is already I've been tracking it. I'm going to get it on Tuesday. Like I'm still waiting for the original order.
Things to test us. Trevor, how's it going, mate? Good day, evening, gentlemen. Yes.
Good day, evening, as the case may be.
Yes. Right. Okay. So we'll head over to Brian now, and I'm looking forward to this selection. So, Brian,
are you? Well, when you mentioned this topic, I was thinking like Sunday morning for me is a different time from Sunday afternoon. But I would say the overriding theme for me on Sundays is try to not be too obnoxious because usually everyone's here, and usually I can't. Usually they're going to hear what I'm playing, so I have to try to be sort of cognizant of that. So. For my first one, I chose this record from Beck, Sea Change, because it's just such a pleasant, peaceful record. I mean, I also love Mutations, which came out a few years before, but this one is I'm sure you know it. Do you know it, Chris? Do you know this record?
I've seen the record.
Yeah, I mean, it's very unlike Beck in a way. He has a series of records like I guess Morning Phase and Mutations and this one, which are sort of the opposite of what you'd expect from Beck because he's, if you know his other tracks are very upbeat, and this is the opposite. It's very quiet and peaceful and melodic. That's the interesting thing. Melodic is probably the right word. So the Golden Age, just a beautiful opening track. It's just magnificent. And I mean, there're just a lot of great introspective songs that are just sort of quiet but enjoyable and suits the mood on a Sunday, especially a Sunday morning. It just sort of fits with the day, right? Like it's not going to be, Black Sabbath, right? So just very, that was all I'm going to say. I don't know what else to say about it. It's a really good record. And I don't know, it's really good. So I don't know. I recommend it.
Is it a track you started from start to finish, or is it kind
Oh,
of?
yeah, for sure. I mean, it starts with Golden Age, which is wonderful. Paper Tiger, Guess I'm Doing Fine. Great. Side one is fantastic. They're all really very peaceful. I mean, I'm not sure that's the right word for it, but anyway, this dates back to 2002, by the way, this record. This isn't a 2002 pressing. This is like from probably 2014. But really fantastic. Really great. Yeah.
Yeah, Beck for me, I like the early Beck.
Yeah.
When they first came out, that they were quite big in the UK at the time.
Yeah, I mean, the first track I heard from him was probably with like most people was Loser, and from that moment I was kind of hooked, and I just followed him through. Now there's some things I'm missing, some of his early stuff, but I think he's really interesting. He's a really interesting musician, so I recommend him if you don't know it.
Yeah, I was listening to Zane Lowe on Apple Music, and he was interviewing Beck, and he said to Beck, sorry, I don't know why you're still big. He said to Beck, he goes, "What album are you giving us now? Are you going to take us on a roller coaster, or are we getting old Beck, or what?" And he was like, "Well, buy the record, you find out."
Good answer.
Well, I think when Mutations came out, which was a record in a similar style, my CD copy had a sticker on it that said it was not the follow-up to whatever the previous album is, because I think the record label was concerned that people might think that he had changed direction. So not the follow-up. It's a really weird thing to say because it actually was the follow-up, but I guess they viewed it as not being a real Beck album in a way. But he's done 3 of these now, which are very sort of mellow in a way. So it was such a strange thing. But I guess they were worried that he'd lose some fans if this is the direction they were going in, and they didn't have to disclaim that this is not what he. Yeah, anyway, it was really weird. So, yeah, he's kind of a chameleon, though. Interesting guy.
That's my appreciation of artists like Beck. When they do change it up, it's like, for me, Bowie's strength was the fact that he constantly reinvented himself.
Yeah.
Beck is very similar. So,
for sure. Yeah, I agree.
Daryl's saying here, Beck's Black Hole from Mellow Gold is a great Sunday song.
Yeah. For sure.
Sure is. Right, I think I caught up on the tracks here. So I'm going to go to an artist I play a lot and I've seen live, and he's my favorite artist of all time. Richard knows what's coming.
I think I do.
Brian's going to go, "Why did you have to spoil this now?" But this is music by Mr. John Mayer. And this one is Continuum. I don't know if anybody's heard of this album. So this one's got Waiting on the World to Change, Gravity, Slow Dancing in a Burning Room. It's got all the kind of classics on you. I'm going to find another You and Say. This came on a double LP. Sorry, there's no gatefold. I apologize profusely. So, early John Mayer with the longer hair. This came on black vinyl. This is one of my favorite albums by John Mayer. It's more guitar kind of riffs on this one rather than the, I want to say, pop bubblegum start that he came out with in the right beginning. And then after this album, then he kind of, I don't think it's out on vinyl CD, but he done a live set with BB King. And that kind of how I discovered BB King was through John Mayer. But yeah, this is a brilliant album. Good Sunday kind of chill out. So you obviously slow dancing in a burning room for all you romantics out there. What's going on a Sunday morning? Yeah.
John Mayer is really interesting to me because when he first hit the scene, he just seemed so, I can't even describe him. It's just got boy next door.
Yeah.
Then his image progressed, and he got 1,000 tattoos, and he just got more interesting as he went, through the years.
Yeah, and he dated a lot of celebrity women, and he got the rap for that. And yeah, so whatever. But yeah, I love John Mayer. I've seen him live in Ireland. He was fantastic. Done an acoustic set. So yeah.
Never heard that record.
Yeah, I don't think it's something you'd buy, Bri. If I'm being honest, but yeah, it's yeah. I got into John May back in 2007. I was working on cruise ships, and that was kind of, "Slow Dancing in the Burning Room" was kind of the first song that I ever heard of him.
Right. Okay.
But his, I like the newer stuff as well, which is pretty cool. And he's working on a new album, so we'll be definitely getting that. So.
I think a lot of people are surprised what Brian and I will find in our collections. It's like nobody will think I own this, and you show it.
That's true.
You have that.
This may be comment of the evening, Mr. Rob Walker. On a Sunday morning, I listened to what I bought on a Saturday.
That's
pretty good.
Well done, mate. Oh, right, brilliant. Okay, we'll go over to the tap house. Richard, the floor's yours.
Howdy. Chris Mann knows this group. I think he's familiar with them. I think he's very familiar with them. I think he's a worldwide expert on this group. And of course, it's the Stereophonics. Now, this album is interesting to me, and here's why. Okay, I knew of the Stereophonics, prior to this year, but I only kind of knew them like occasional, some of their early stuff that was a lot more rocky. And then this album came out. Chris sends it to me, and he's like, "Try this out. You might like this." And I really did. I do like this album a lot, and it's become a Sunday morning staple because it's so mellow. It is a very laid back version of Stereophonics that I didn't expect when this came in. So, lo and behold, I love it. It's interesting. They're still a band that I'm, trying to get more and more acquainted with. And, anything on like vibrant pink bubblegum vinyl, hey, sign me up. But, I've since picked up a couple more. I have a greatest hits box set CD thing that I actually started out with, and that was kind of like a big overview. And I was like, oh, I know that song, and oh, I know that song, but it had no clue of anything else. So this was a welcome addition to the fold. But I got this, listened to it once, listened to it twice, and it became like a Sunday morning thing for weeks on end. And many albums as I pick up in a given month or two, especially this year, oh my God, this one has held up. It's a really solid album. Would I say it's the place to start with Stereophonics? No. If you've never heard of them, I would say their greatest hits is a best place to start, and then kind of go, oh, I like this song, maybe go to that album and reference it that way, unless you're a completist like this guy.
What can I say? Yeah, I sent you that one on purpose because I thought, okay, I sent Rob Performance and Cocktail, which is very upbeat, very kind of indie rock Oasis, that era. But this one is their latest one, which is more mellow, and there's not many tracks on it, is there? I think there's like 10 tracks tops.
Yeah, it's short and sweet.
Yeah. It's kind of easy listening to as well. So, yeah.
It is just easy on the ear. It's very mellow, laid back. It's almost like it's the sound of a band that realizes they're getting older and they just can't rock the house out for Bibi Clyro are doing the same thing. They've dialed back their sound quite a bit from what they were doing 20 years ago. Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm glad you enjoyed it, to be honest, mate.
Yeah, it's good.
Right, Boz is saying on a Monday morning I play things I bought in 2022.
What about Tuesday?
Yeah, well, and then he's going, Stereophonics, never heard of them. Of course you haven't.
You never talk about them here, ever.
I think I bang on about them enough. Hang on. Trevor's saying, thought Stereophonics were playing 5 nights in Seattle at a big theatre here. Come to find out, it's a play called Stereophonic.
Oops.
Great.
Well, good.
Close enough, Trevor. Close enough. I think they've done the American tour, but yeah, it's they don't come over very often because they're not as big in Canada and America. They're bigger in Britain, Asia, and obviously Europe. So yeah. So that could be a topic for another time, where British bands haven't made it in the US or Canada, or the other way around. So
Ooh,
A lot
right.
of those.
yeah. Right. Okay. We will head now to Canada to Brian.
Yeah, so sometimes I have this feeling that Sunday music is also the kind of music I play in the car. So this particular album, I mean, not all the time. This particular album is one. When I had a CD player in the car, I would grab like 8 or 10 CDs, depending on where I was going, and I always brought this one with me, which is Do Make Say Think, and it's called And Yet. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Do Make Say Think, And Yet. They're a Toronto post-rock band. And they're pretty cool. Like they fit into that whole post-rock sound that is mostly out of Montreal, with people like Godspeed You Black Emperor, Silver Mount Zion, people like that. But this band is really organic. I mean, they use real instruments like trumpets, sax, keyboards, drums, bass, but it has a really electronic sound almost. It's really weird to say because they have keyboards, but despite having all that, I always think of them as an electronic band. Anyway, this is just mesmerizing for me. Like it just sort of takes you on a trip. Really, no lyrics. It's all instrumental. And so they have tracks like, I always forget the tracks, classic Noon, Nude Landing, End of the Music, White Light of Chinatown, etc. There's the listing of the tracks here. Really engaging music. Apparently they got their name because they're practicing in a classroom and those words were on the wall. So they just put it together in the name of a band. Several records. Later they added vocals, which I didn't like as much, but this is just mood music. It is really transporting. It's just gets you in a zone if you're driving. And the other thing is maybe I would choose things that weren't, again, obnoxious because there might be family members in the car, so I don't want to freak them out. But other times I would choose more upbeat things in the car. But this one just sets a really interesting tone for a nice trip down the highway. I just think it really works well, and it's perfect for Sundays because it's just elegant in a way. So Do Make Say Think out of Toronto. It's my hometown. Well, not my hometown. It's my current town's maybe my favorite band out of Toronto. I'm not sure, but I have to think about that. So anyway,
I'm taking notes as we speak.
Okay. And I would say that is my favorite record from Do Make Say Think. They have several, but I would put that one first, probably.
I have never heard of them. That sounds really interesting. So
I like them.
Yeah. This is why I try and I nag Brian a lot, don't I, Brian? Like, I always send him messages going, well, not this week. I'm too busy this week. But when he does come on, I enjoy him coming on because he brings me to new music that you would have never heard of. And like the Hold Steady, for instance, I love that album though.
Yeah. So
yeah, well done, Brian. Yes.
All right.
I'll stream that one and see what that's all about. So
okay.
Cheers, mate. We caught up in the comments. So I want to talk about this band, no pun intended. And it's the band. I've been collecting the band the last couple of months, thanks to Rob at Northern Revolutions. He's cost me an absolute fortune in this band. But I absolutely love them. Now, as you know, I'm not a Dylan fan. I like Dylan's lyrics. I just can't get around his voice itself. For some reason, it's just not clicking with me at all. But I do like the album. And this is the most recent one I have picked up. My favorite one still is Cahoots, if I'm being honest. That's an amazing album. I absolutely love that. And I believe for Record Store Day, they're releasing the album. Is it Submarine? I want to say. So
I think so.
Submarine? Yeah. I nearly said Yellow Submarine then. And I know it's
no, don't do
that. But yeah, so you've got Across the Great Divide. That's an amazing track. And you've got Raga Mama Rag, When You're Awake, Rockin' Chair, Unfaithful Servant, King Harvest. It's just an amazing album by the band. And it's called The Band. So, yeah, I've collected all the rest, but I had to wait a while. So I got this from the record store in Tenby, and he's been ordering them for me because for us to get them in the UK off Amazon or anything like that is just an absolute nightmare. And the shipping to get it over. But he knows a supplier in the UK that pressed these, so I was like, whenever you get them in, just get them, and I'll transfer the money into your account. So that's what I've been doing. Big fan of the band. So yeah, especially on a Sunday morning, love putting that on, cup of coffee, chilling out, sitting down on the sofa in the back room, my music room, and just listening to them. So
Very good.
yeah, so that's my choice. Right, what's Bob saying? I'm not a much fan of Dylan, fan as a folk music. I'm not that crazy about in general. I want to get Brian's perspective on this. Brian, you a fan, yes or no?
I'm a fan,
Okay.
but not till I was well into my adult years. And
Okay.
then I bought a CD copy of Highway 61 and I put it on, didn't really like it. But then I came back to it a couple weeks later. And I from that point, something about that particular day I was listening, maybe it was a Sunday, I don't know. I just thought it was fantastic. So yeah, I'm a fan. I don't like Nashville Skyline. I think that I just can't listen to that record. It just irritates me. But pretty much everything else I've heard, and there's some things I haven't heard. Like I haven't heard Saved. There's a few things I haven't heard, but everything I have heard, I've really liked.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's a genius.
Yeah, I was talking to David Atkinson. He was like, whatever you do, Chris, don't get a greatest hits because you won't get the album. He's meant for albums. And I'm like, I'm not going to listen to it anyway. I even watched the film and I still didn't get the music. So like, it's not going to click, is it? It's not going to happen. So
To me, he's one of those few artists where he's an album artist.
Yeah.
He has songs, and yes, you know the songs. So I agree with David Atkinson. It's like greatest hits. Yeah, it's an okay like introduction maybe, but you're missing a third, if not more, of what he's all about. I like Dylan. I don't own a whole lot just because it's not something I go back to often.
Yeah.
Well, it's a really interesting comment there, Richard, because sometimes I feel like the best Dylan songs aren't the singles or aren't the things that would be on a greatest hits record.
Right.
So apart from the obvious ones like Highway 61, possibly the greatest song ever written, but that deserves to be on a best of, but some of the other ones just get overlooked on compilations. So
I feel like Dylan's been here the whole of my life since I was a small kid because my uncle used to play it on the record, in the old record, the sliding doors, on the music player in our living room lounge.
right.
And I still didn't. I'm like, what's wrong with his voice? What's going on here? I always thought there was something wrong with the record. Sorry, Brian, but I'm just like, it's not clicking here. Something's not right. Right, okay. Richard, show us some Dylan.
Not happening. Just so you know, that will not be showing up. This one though came to mind. Actually, it came to my mind this morning because one of the songs clicked into my head, and I went, "Yes, this is a perfect nighttime driving songs." And one of those albums that I literally will play all the way through.
Yeah.
Power, Corruption, and Lies. OMG,
Yeah.
I love this album. This was my introduction to New Order. I knew of Joy Division, and I didn't know at this age. I got this when it first came out. So at the time, I was like, Joy Division is kind of weird, and Ian Curtis was doing all the weird stuff. I have a massive appreciation for Joy Division now. But when New Order broke onto the scene of songs like Age of Consent, Hit the Airwaves, I was immediately sold. I was just like, I love this kind of bubbly synth that just kind of like propels the song along, and not a droney voice, but just deadpan, sort of deadpan with the lyrical presentation. I absolutely love this album. I love the album cover. I love everything about this. This and Substance, I'd say, would be two things. Anyone who doesn't get New Order, start here, get Substance. You have everything, and then fill in the blanks and things like Low Life and Brotherhood and all of the others. But great band. I love New Order.
That record contains my favorite New Order track, which is Your Silent Face, which is
I love that song.
epic. That's like peak.
And that's the song that was bubbling in my head earlier. It's like, yeah, that little bass line. Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a band I've never got into. If I'm being honest, it's kind of at the back of my brain. I'll do a deep dive. All right, just for you, Rich. I'll do a deep dive. I will. I got a promise. Right. Okay. I think I'm caught up on the chat here. Brian.
Brilliant.
Yeah, of all the Bob Dylan records, though, for a Sunday, I chose this one. I think this is phenomenal. I mean, it is. Richard, someone mentioned his voice. I think maybe you both mentioned his voice. Yeah, for me, that was a challenge when I first listened to him. But then you have to ask which Bob Dylan voice, because here, by this point, of course, he's singing in a different style altogether. I mean, he did that on Nashville Skyline, a different style. Here, he's lost that sort of thing that probably most people would object to, although I'm sure some people would object to this voice here. But this is like, I think, a modern Dylan masterpiece. I'll show you the inside of this. You might not even have heard of these songs because I don't think they got radio play. No one's playing Bob Dylan, recent Bob Dylan. And this is not even recent. It's what, 2006. Are people playing this on the radio? But this has some killer tracks like Thunder on the Mountain. Beautiful opening track. He's got some quiet songs like Spirit on the Water. We've got Rollin' and Tumblin'. The Levee's Gonna Break. If I recommend one track on here, The Levee's Gonna Break. Fantastic kind of bluesy song. Really... This knocked me out when I first heard it. I got it on CD originally. And when I was in Europe on a long trip in 2009, I had an iPod and this was on it. And I played it almost constantly, traveling by train through the mountains. Just phenomenal. I think this is a really fantastic record. So, yeah, I understand why people don't like Bob Dylan. But, well, maybe I don't understand why people like Bob Dylan. This is just a black vinyl issue, by the way. I just think his later stuff, people talk about Bob Dylan in the 60s, but I think his later stuff in the 2000s is equally good. Love and Theft, I think, is great. Well, that's earlier, but Together Through Life, also phenomenal. This, to me, is a perfect Sunday record. So
I've never heard that, and so I'm intrigued.
And if you do like this, you're going to like Together Through Life, possibly Love and Theft. I think his last one is really interesting as well. Rough and Rowdy Ways. Is that what it's called? Yeah. But I think it's great. And it's a good Sunday record, if you ask me. And you did ask me. So,
I'll tell you what, I'll give it a go, right? This is his last chance now, okay? Because I've given him so many chances.
well, if you don't like him, at least you tried.
Yeah.
Nothing else I can do.
I'm one of the people, I never say never, because I know that early Dylan, I can't stand that sort of sing-speak thing. But how did you feel? And everything sounded like that. I'm just like, no, I can't do that. Then he got into his religious bent thing. I love different eras of Dylan, but I haven't explored them. So that sounds like it would be a place for me to go.
Oh. Boz is saying I'll have to stream that Dylan and give it a chance, Brian. So
Yeah.
okay. This one's going to be for Richard. Daryl saying thoughts on New Order's early 90s tracks, e.g., Regret.
I love Regret. I love later New Order and what are those? Some of those like Fine Time and all of this stuff. Yeah, later New Order. I don't think I did not lose interest with them over time. I would say their popularity kind of up and down because no changes in music over time. But there are no bad New Order albums, my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, I would agree with you, except that I found that by the time like Music Complete, I wasn't as in love with that album as I was with even the 90s stuff. But I agree with you. I think they're all good. Yeah, they're all pretty good.
Deep dive coming. Incoming. Grab my wallet now. Right, we're caught up on the chat, so I will go next. I think I showed this album on Boz's channel. Oh no, my channel. So I've done. This is my second live stream this week. So it's like I totally like it. Now, Sam St. John recommended this album to me, and I absolutely love it. And this is Tommy Prime. This is a fantastic album from start to finish. I actually put this on this morning. Is it Sunday? Yes, it is Sunday because we do the live stream on Sunday. I put this on this morning. Fantastic from start to finish. And I know his dad was quite famous back in the day. He's no longer with us anymore. But Sam put this on his channel, and I went ahead and streamed it. I liked it so much, I bought it off eBay for like £13. I think it was a good deal on this one. Free shipping from America against it as well, Rich.
Wow.
They've pretty much given it away, which I'm not really selling this, am I? But yes. So real album. So some of the good tracks on here are This Far South. Now that's a good song to listen to. This is pretty much a dedication to his dad. The whole album, how he's missing him and what's happened since he's died, and how he's managing. He's got a new family and stuff. Left It to My Brother. I Love You Always, which is dedicated to his dad. So this is an amazing album. I absolutely love it. It's got that acoustic kind of feel to it. We've got all the songs. This just came on black vinyl. I actually put this on today, and my stylist decided to snap on me.
Ooh.
No. No fun.
So what would you say? Sorry, go ahead.
Go on. Yeah.
What would you say the genre is on that? Is it like his dad? Is it like Americana? Is it?
It is
folk?
obviously it comes from Sam.
Yeah.
It is Americana, but it's got like upbeat kind of songs, like fast. With you can hear the band in the background, and the other ones are really slow. So it kind of starts fast, then goes a bit slow, and then starts fast. So it's kind of that kind of. And this has only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 tracks in total. So they're quite quick. Good kind of album to listen to. Give it a stream first, see what you think.
Yeah.
Anybody wants to check this out? This is a recommendation from Sam St. John. This Far South is called the album. So really cool.
Okay.
See, everything I've heard about that was everybody was thinking, oh, we're going to be comparing Tommy to his father. And everything I've heard is that it's not like that at all.
No.
It's a very distinctive difference in their style of music, which is probably to his credit.
Yeah.
To not just emulate his father and move on with that.
With Brian, Rob, and Sam, I'm spending a lot of money on eBay at the moment. Yeah, but it's good recommendations, because what I've been tending to do is stream it first, or I just go and buy it, because there's nothing worse than buying the album and thinking, oh, this is not for me. So
Yeah.
streaming does come in handy. I know we are vinyl record collectors at the end of the day, but you don't want to be spending money and you think, good God, what have I bought you? So yeah, that was my choice. That was Tommy Prime. Amazing album. Absolutely love it. So yeah.
Right.
Okay. Richard.
Me. I've made no bones about it that I'm a massive fan of Gary Newman. So if there were a Gary Newman album, really? No, me? Huh? Hey, Brian is too. So yeah.
Not good.
Which album would I choose if I was like, I want to listen to a Gary Newman album on a Sunday morning? And the answer immediately would be Dance. And Dance is a very different album from anything Newman did early on before this. So his early albums range from being very punky with Two-Way Army, and then moving into synth pop, Android-ish, if you will, type of music. This came out after Telecon. Telecon's one of my very favorite albums because it's just so massive sounding. This completely dialed everything back, and it's very minimalist sounding. So Slow Car to China is this very slow, almost not dirge-like, but it's soundscapes and just bits and pieces. Songs speak at some points. Night Talk is brilliant. Cry the Clock Set is just another one where it just kind of motors through. And I remember that alienated probably quite a lot of Newman fans when it first came out. Side 2 is a little bit more up tempo. She's Got Claws was the single off of this. Stories was the first song I really gravitated on this one, just because it was so simple and just compact, and then it kind of blossomed from there. I don't like the last song, which is basically a take on Moral. It's a song like, I can't remember the original version of it, but he just kind of changed the lyrics and just made it more aggressive. And I was like, this isn't doing it for me. But overall, check out this gatefold. Are you ready?
Hang on.
That's a gatefold.
Wow.
Hi, Gary. Image wise, I've never quite figured out how this image came about, but it's interesting enough. I would love to hear what Brian thinks of this album, because I love it. It took me quite a while to really appreciate it, but it's a good Sunday morning Newman album, my opinion.
Brian,
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree with you. The first track, I mean, I think I heard that. I may have heard the single first, but Slow Cartagena just immediately captivated me because I think it was quite an unusual. It sounded unusual for him.
Yes.
But I really I just thought that was a magnificent track. It's very atmospheric in a way. So yeah, I do like that record. I mean, there's other things. I put that in near the top of his like great stuff. It would probably rank more highly than things like Berserker or things like that. But I think it's really
for
good.
sure. Yes.
Yeah. No, I think it's great. I agree with you on the fashion sense there. What's going on? I don't know, but I do like it. Yeah.
My biggest problem with Newman's fashion sense was the Berserker image with the white face and blue hair. I didn't get that at all. I was just kind of like, where are you going with this? But
I don't know if he knew where he was going. Who knows?
That was well, right. And you and I kind of know his music continuum. There was a time when he was just at a valley as far as his music. He had no idea where he was going. And
that's true.
I think his wife really turned him around. It's like, this is what you should be doing. And he went into like Sacrifice and Pure and Exile and Return to Form.
Cool. And she was a real fan. She was a Numenoid, right?
Oh, his big wife? Time. She was a huge fan, right? That's how they kind of met. She was always at his shows. So it looks very different now from what you
that's
if you know, you know.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, we'll head over to Brian then.
All right, so I guess because I showed Bob Dylan, I have to show this one next, which is Leonard Cohen.
Here we go.
Various positions, and I think everyone would have expected me to show a Leonard Cohen record on for a Sunday, but maybe not this one. Maybe you're thinking I would show a different one because his first several records were very folky, just some accompaniment with other instruments, but largely acoustic guitar in the Leonard Cohen strange classical guitar thing and very stripped back production. This record probably suffers from terrible production, and the lyrics are on the back here. But I think this is a groundbreaking record for a lot of ways. First of all, it has the original version of Hallelujah on it, which, when the song that the version people heard later was a reworking of that because he had many lyrics for this. He has one version on here, but when he started performing it live, he changed the lyrics. So you rarely hear this version of Hallelujah. No one sings this version of Hallelujah. They always sing the later version of Hallelujah. So that's a fantastic song and overlooked at the time. In fact, the interesting thing about this record is his American record company refused to release it. So this was not released in the United States until decades later. It was released in Canada, of course. So that's an interesting song. Dance Me to the End of Love, which is a Leonard Cohen favorite, is on here. For me, one of his best deep cut songs is on here. It's If It Be Your Will, which is the last song on the record, which is very spiritual. I'm not a spiritual person at all. I'm not religious, but that song really, if you are, that will just grip you. And several very almost autobiographical songs, like The Night Comes On, where he goes to visit his mother's grave. I don't know if these are real things or just made up for the song, but I think really great. And some. Yeah, I don't know. It's just really great. I would say the production interferes with it a bit because in some respects, you almost like you're hearing the echo of a room in some ways because it's very, I don't know, the production is just weird. and it probably would be better with a different production. And if you were ranking Leonard Cohen records, this might not make your top 5, but I think it's really good. I think it's excellent, and I don't understand what his record company was doing, turning him down for not releasing in the United States. But this is a great Sunday record, just very warm in a way, even though the production is really weird. So 1984, if I didn't remember to tell you that, but one I really enjoy.
Cool.
Yeah.
One of the things I appreciate, especially about you, are your vast knowledge of artists like Cohen and Tom Waits, and where. Well, not only do you know where your interests lie within their discography, but you could say this might be a place to try something out for this reason. That would be like a Sunday morning trial for Leonard Cohen that I would have never thought of. But
the funny thing is, I was just thinking, Leonard Cohen, Bob Dylan, Tom Waits are probably 3 guys who are not considered to be strong vocalists. Yet there's something about their lyrics and the way the music is done that really appeals to me. So I would never choose, those guys would never win American Idol. But
no.
Great music though. That's true.
I'd love to see them on the panel though.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah, that would be interesting.
People just walk on and go off.
Yeah.
Off. Cool, mate. Very cool.
Yeah.
Right. It was a matter of time before we hit a greatest hits, but I think you may agree this is a good greatest hits to have. And it's Mr. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Haven't got any other Tom Petty. This is the only album I've got.
Really?
But I do. My favorite album is Wildflower or Wildflowers.
Yeah.
That's I heard that in lockdown. But yeah, it's an artist I want to get into. I know Record Store Day. There's a live album come out from the Vault, I believe. I think Sam St. John mentioned on one of his videos that there's kind of a Tom Petty or Heartbreakers coming out for Record Store Day. So I don't know if it's going to be released in the UK, but I'll keep my eyes open if they do. I'll just show you the inside. So pretty much in the studio, and. Well, what can you say? American Girl, Listen to Her Heart, I Need to Know, Refugee, Even the Losers, Here Comes My Girl, The Waiting, Don't Come Around You No More, I Want You Back, Running Down a Dream, Free Falling. I love Free Falling. And in fact, John Mayer covered this song, Free Falling. So, yes, Learning to Fly is possibly my favorite on this one. It's such an amazing song. This came just on black vinyl. Amazing deal on Amazon for this one. It was £10. So
bargain.
Yeah. Do you know what I say, Rich? Sometimes that Amazon do a total screw up. Because I thought
we love that.
Yes, and I think they made a mistake with this one because I think they were meant to put a CD for £10. Not the actual vinyl. If you go on Amazon now, this is over £35.
I'm sure.
£40. So if anybody wants to get into Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, this is a good greatest hits.
So my question is, you have that, and
Yes.
it's the only Tom Petty record you have. So there's nothing that sort of encouraged you to get more Tom Petty records after hearing that?
Yes, there was, but then I watch live streams and then I get distracted and then I...
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
So it's the one album.
Ideas.
Yeah, I would. Wildflowers, I think, would possibly be the next one I would pick up. I know. There's a lot of the vinyl community who don't like this brand, but UK, is it no QRU or something? The high fidelity company that release like high quality albums. I can't think of their names. They do like box sets of people and. Is it UK QRU or something they're called?
Oh, UHQR.
That's the one. Yeah. So I said UK. That's going to be like £300. Let's be honest for that one. But
you're not going to shell out £300 for that. But no, For me, I grew up with Tom Petty, so Damn the Torpedoes was my entrance. It's still one of my favorite albums, but Damn the Torpedoes, Hard Promises, and Southern Accents
Yeah.
would be three I would say are essential. And then others, I have quite a lot of Tom Petty, but those are the three I really come back to a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's another deep dive. I just need.
It
I
is.
think I need when I see the record store next time. I'm just going to pick up an album of his and just pick it
Yeah.
up and just go from there. I think. But yeah, that I had a good deal now, and so I was like, right, good starting point for me.
Mhm, mhm.
But like I said earlier on, I'm pretty much done with the greatest hits now because I've collected everything I need to get. So it's a case of me picking up the albums. Like Gordon Lightfoot is another one. I've got his greatest hits, but I want to go back and collect. Yes, I totally agree with you, Alex. Brian is asking the important questions.
That never happens. So
So yeah, right, okay. We will go to Richard now. What you got, mate?
I have sort of a Stone Cold classic. It's one of those
Oh.
albums that, I know the MoFi folks are like, this is where you start if you ever buy a MoFi edition of albums from this band. I don't have one, but mainly because my original on plain old A&M Records still sounds fantastic. And it's Supertramp's Crime of the Century. Classic for many reasons, but most notably, not just for what songs are on here, but for the whole soundscape of what the album just does. It is a beautifully produced, well constructed album. It's just cohesive. School, Bloody Well Right, Hide in Your Shell, Asylum, Dreamer, Rudy. It's almost a greatest hits album for Supertramp because there's so many songs off here that are Supertramp classics. Where a lot of people are like, oh, I like Breakfast in America. I like the album cover of Breakfast in America, but the album itself is to me.
Yeah.
Although that was where I started with Supertramp. So it was all of those songs that came off of that album. Then I went backwards and I discovered this and Crisis, What Crisis, which is I would put on par with this as being a great Supertramp album, even in the quietest moments. And then moving forward, Paris, their Supertramp's Paris album is another really nice Sunday morning album, just because you get the kind of overview of what Supertramp had to offer. And I discovered these songs from the Paris album, and that's what got me going backwards. So Supertramp, 3:00 in the morning, I would be more than happy to listen to this. My fuzzy slippers and all that good stuff. So this is a really, really, really good album.
So Alex is saying, attaboy, Rich.
Thank you, Alex. I'm back at his good books. Apparently, I took all of his picks for the London thread. I'm sorry.
So you'll be glad to know, Richard, I've actually got that album.
Good.
That was an attic find that my mum gave me because she was cleaning out the attic a few weeks ago.
Oh,
I've got the British OG release on that one. Have I listened to it? No.
Oh,
you need to. This would be a quintessential Sunday morning album. It just sets the mood. It's such a good album.
I
Highly recommend it.
I'm in the process of cleaning them at the moment, so as soon as I get round to it, I
Get
promise
them
you.
and then play them.
Okay.
You have to report back. That's your homework.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a top 10 album list in my head, but that would be top 20 for sure for me of all time. It's a fantastic record.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll get back to you on that one, Rich. You know. Brian, over to you, mate.
All right. Well, this is probably the most discordant I would get on Sunday. And I chose this not because it starts with Sunday morning, because of course the first song is famously Sunday Morning from the Velvet Underground and Nico. But years ago, we used to have this talking about events from a different lifetime, but this sort of brunch exchange. You go to someone's house for brunch, and they come here. And I'd always put this on. Well, not always, but I would often put this record on which seems like an odd choice for a Sunday brunch, yet no one complained. Maybe they're too afraid to complain. But of course, this has John Cale and Lou Reed, Sterling Morrison, Mo Tucker, and Nico. And I think it's their best release. Other people talk about Loaded, but for me, this has, your peaceful, lovely Sunday morning, Femme Fatale, that kind of thing. There She Goes Again. But then these, I'll Be Your Mirror, sorry, things like that. But then you Black Angel's Death Song, Heroin, Baltimore's Party. I think it's I'm Waiting for the Man, which is a really interesting track, purportedly about going to a drug deal or something. Really great. This is not an original pressing, by the way. This is like a 1980 something Canadian non-gatefold release.
I was just about to ask you then.
Yeah, I know it's not. It's a lot of my this I didn't bother, I never hunted down an original list because I bought this would have been like sometime in the 80s, and I don't really know if it's necessary for me to have the original, but this is pretty cool. It's I think it's great though, and I think it fits Sunday at some level, depending on when. But I think it fits on a Sunday. I like it. I can't peel the thing off though. So I don't know.
I often see that at record fairs, and the prices are insane.
Oh, and for sure. I don't know what this is worth these days, but you're right.
And I always question myself. I was like, why is this so expensive? And then obviously I started watching the Vinyl Community, and I'm like, oh right, okay, now I get it.
Have you heard this record though? Do you know it?
I've streamed it.
Yeah.
One or two tracks, if I'm being honest. I think I keep saying deep dive. Fuck's sake, Chris. But I think I need to go back and listen to this. Now, what I tend to do on my live streams is I'll go back and watch it and then kind of stream the music that you've recommended, and then I'll make notes and I'll put into a list then what I need to get. So I'll have a listen to that one, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good. By the way, 1967, if you're curious. But, in the early days when I heard this record, I was kind of irritated about the inclusion of Nico. I thought the record would have been better without her, but I've changed my mind on that a little bit. I have listened to a lot of her solo stuff, and I think she does bring something to it, but it's a little different. In the early days, I wasn't sure if I liked it or not, but
okay,
I like it.
I'll just go through the comments really quick, yeah? So, Mr. Rob Walker, listening to that equals worst Sunday ever. Right.
That's pretty good.
Alex is saying Nico has the perfect Sunday voice.
Right. Yeah.
Trevor's saying my Mr. John Cale and Leonard Cohen bingo card now complete. You've got to pay attention for that sticky banana.
Yeah.
Yes. Does it come with ice cream by any chance? Let's have a look. Don't bother, Chris. It's horrendous. Okay. We're cold tonight. Chris live streaming so much, he just admitted that he goes back and watches the replay. You've got to, mate, because there's so many recommendations coming through. I can't remember half the time what's going on here. And I'm trying to keep of the chat. Who's next? And what the hell am I going to pick after this? I shouldn't have gone after Brian.
A marker. I'm ready. Write stuff down. That's what I do.
Okay. Let's move it on swiftly then. Right. Okay. Country band.
Ooh.
Half of them are American, the other half are Welsh. I think Richard knows where this is going.
Yes, I do.
So this is Kelly Jones from the Stereophonics, teaming up with two other people from America that are supporting Stereophonics in America. This was number one in the UK on the country album chart for a couple of weeks in a row. Don't think of the Stereophonics. It's completely and utterly different. It's an amazing album from start to finish. This is a Sunday, relaxing kind of music you put on. It's kind of, I know Brian's going to go, well, let's not get into religion here, right? But it's kind of that church, singing, country, kind of mellow kind of music. Screaming Hallelujah It is an amazing track on here. Highly, highly recommend this album from start to finish. It is amazing. And as you can see, because Kelly always a bit quirky, he's actually got the lyrics he actually wrote down originally to make this album. So, yeah. That was on black vinyl. But yeah, Screaming Hallelujah is amazing. And Through the Night is another good one as well. So, it's Far From Saints.
Right.
And they bring out
Cover art. That cover art is amazing.
Yeah. So,
I buy that just for the cover art. Like, wow.
yeah. So his friend from where he's originally from come up with this because he said music is like a circus. So he described that, and this is the original picture taken that he drew out of where Kelly's from. So it's the last school photo that he's in. So he painted that as well. So there you go. Far From Saints. Check him out. Amazing. Not the Stereophonics. Don't think about the Stereophonics. That's the only time you'll ever hear me say that. So take advantage of it. Right. Richard, I know it's not got hard to beat. What you got, mate?
Stereophonics adjacent. All right. I'm doing a twofer, and there's a reason for it. And the reason is that both of these bands are not known for acoustic renditions of their music, with two album exceptions. And it just happens that they're two of my not very favorite in one instance, but in one it is my favorite. And first one is Bombay Bicycle Club.
Oh, yes.
Bob Walker knows who they are. But their acoustic album is called Flaws, and it is misnamed. It should be Flawless. It is so good. Absolutely love what they did with this. And Rinse Me Down absolutely sold me on this album. I had to have it. This came out on CD originally. This is a vinyl reissue, and I'm just like, I've got to get this because I could play this all the time. It is just, it reminds me kind of like, remember when Alice in Chains came out with their acoustic album, and it had like No Excuses, and it just dialed back their sound a lot. That's exactly what happens here. And the lead vocalist has this not really hiccuping way of singing, but it just works beautifully in an acoustic environment. So Bombay Bicycle Club, Flaws, absolutely love this album. The other band is from Scotland, and it's the Twilight Sad, who I've gone on about a lot. They've become the Cure's almost standard opening band because it's one of Robert Smith's favorite bands. And they did an acoustic album called the Oran Moore Session, which is a live album recorded in Scotland at Oran Moore, which I think is in Glasgow. Dials back their sound to just acoustic guitar and James Graham's voice, and it worked on every level. Some of these songs originally had like big, huge, epic soundscapes and layers of reverb and drenched in synths, and among other things. But this is a stunning little album. And it comes from the sessions of the album from Nobody Wants to Be Here, Nobody Wants to Leave, which is my favorite Twilight Sad album. But just stream the song It Was Never the Same from this album, and you'll be like, oh my God, that's a Sunday song. Absolutely beautiful. Lyrically, there's a chill to their lyrics because they write on sort of a gothic sense. But I absolutely love the Twilight Sad. I saw them. I've been into them since their first album. Saw them in London at the 100 Club. There was hardly anyone there because they had just come out, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is so great!" Seen them countless times. I've met them a few times. Great band. So Twilight Sad and Bombay Bicycle Club acoustic. Great Sunday spins.
I just on a site, and I want to make sure I've got this right, Rich. There was a band I'm sure you showed a few months ago called Sunday 1994.
Yes.
Right. Now, I'm on the case of trying to get that album, but it's really hard in the UK. So if anybody doesn't know, I've listened to this constantly this week. And the song is Stained Glass Window, which I really love. And I'm sure it was you, because I thought it was you, and I was like, if I might get this wrong, but you know, completely. But
Yeah, I discovered them through YouTube. Probably, I think their channel popped up on my feed,
Yeah.
and I was like, "What is this?" Sunday, 1994, and yeah, they're really interesting. I love the lead singer's voice, and it is very dialed back. They have three. I think they're on their third EP that just came out. There's a channel called Rise Buys, and he alerted me. It's like, oh, this new one just came out. It came out in May, and I didn't even know.
yeah.
But their stuff is not easy to come by. It sells out really fast, and it's fairly expensive. It'd be like a 6-song EP, and it'll be $35 plus shipping. I'm going, ugh.
Yeah, I've been waiting
So,
for that to come down in price. I saw it on eBay and they wanted like £30, and I was like,
Yeah.
there's not many songs on here, really. So I was like, oh, I'll wait. But when you showed that,
look on their Bandcamp. Look on their Bandcamp.
when you showed that first album, it triggered my brain. Then hang on a minute, the Sundays,
Yeah,
1984.
very similar cover. Yeah.
Cool, mate. Right, let me go through the comments real quick. Alex, honestly, mate, we'll get Chris a secretary. I'd love a secretary. So I'll stop there just in case Liz is watching. Had the Seahawks game on while watching this. Now the game is over and they won. I have 4 hours to get to my Sunday chores done until the Lions game comes on. Cheers, fellas. There we go. Have you noticed every time I'm on a live stream, it's either Rob who's trying to watch the Blue Jays,
Yeah,
or
they're
somebody-
playing tonight.
So
The Jays are playing tonight.
I'm just say it's mid-afternoon in North America. It's
Yeah.
football, baseball.
Yeah.
right, okay, we'll head over to Brian now. So
All right, with maybe the best Sunday album of all time.
oh wow,
Oh, yes.
Yeah, sort of. This is very lush. You all know what this record is. Very lush record. Sort of. Some of the early records were, I don't know what the right word is. Chaotic. I mean, very energetic, all over the place. This one is very mature. Maybe a bit of a comeback. I don't know. For me, despite the fact that I'm a Brian Eno fan, I didn't know early Roxy music really until later. And this was the first album I ever heard of. And that's that theory that the first record you hear from a band is your favorite. But I don't know if that's true. A friend lent me this one in Flesh and Blood during the same weekend, and I listened to them both all weekend. This is just a really lush, beautiful record. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. It's just kind of perfect in many ways. And I guess there are some Roxy fans who didn't love the direction that they went on this record, but I think it was a really great record. So I don't know. It has more than this, of course. Avalon, the title track, the main thing, Take a Chance with Me. There's so many good songs on here that I really love it. And it sort of suits, Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. I think you could play it anytime and it would be fine. And usually it's one that Cecile won't beg me to take off the turntable. Like some things. So I don't know. When did this come out? 1982. Yeah, I think it's really good. And I'm sure you both have heard this one.
Yes.
I'm sure. Yeah. So yeah.
I
don't know.
I think commercially, it was a great move for them because I know
Yeah.
that sold gazillions. And yeah, I think it's a great album.
Yeah.
They've also got a good greatest hits.
I think I have that one. I do have a greatest hits. I'm not sure which one it is. So yeah.
So just in case anybody's not listening, because I love doing this to Brian, where would you start with Roxy music, Brian?
I don't know. That's a tough one because their first two records with Eno they're a little harsher in some ways. I'm not sure what the right word is, but I think Avalon. But no, with the knowledge that if you went backwards, you're going to encounter some different kinds of music. But if you go forward, you get Flesh and Blood, which I think is also a strong record. So this is good. This is a record that would please a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's good. And is it? What is it? Is it? I don't know. Is it sophistopop? Is it pop? I don't even know how you describe what this is. Is it?
It's Roxy
what
music.
is that? It's like art symphonic, not symphonic, art synth.
Yeah, something. I'm not sure.
Would you just put them down as Roxy music? Because
Yeah, sure.
yeah,
Roxy music.
I think it's,
Genre.
yeah,
Yeah.
To me, they're similar to like a band like the Tubes, where if you start in the middle and you go backwards, you get a very different band. If you go forward, you get a very commercial band. So
Also, Flesh and Blood comes before this. I don't know why I said after. It comes before this, but I think they're equally interesting records.
cool. Good selection, mate. Well done. Really cool. Right, I will go next. Another country artist that I love listening to on a Sunday morning, and it's Mr. Chris Stapleton. This is called Higher. This is an amazing album from start to finish. He's got an amazing voice. I don't know if you heard him on the Super Bowl. I think it was like 2 years ago. He did a national anthem. I nearly said national lottery. But yeah, this is an amazing album. There's no fillers on this one. I love Chris Stapleton. Waiting for some new material to come out. There's not a lot going on the inside here. But so you got 1, 2, 3, 4 sides on this one. And then it shows the albums that he's brought out. So you've got South Dakota, which is an amazing song, The Fire. Think I'm in Love with You, Losing My Mind. White Horse was a massive one off here. Higher was another big one. Crosswind, Mountains of My Mind. It's an amazing. And he actually tours with his wife that sings the backup tracks on here as well. So she's a vocalist on here as well. I know I've shown this before, but you'd think this would either come on brown or orange vinyl. No. It came on like a green Coke bottle kind of color. So, yes. So if nobody's heard of Chris Stapleton, he's an amazing singer, songwriter. So I love listening to this on a Sunday morning. This is Mr. Chris Stapleton. So, yeah. I don't know what you guys think about him. Have you ever heard of him or?
I'm generally not a fan of country music, but beyond that, well known.
I know. Yeah, I'm not going to race out my Chris Stapleton album.
So, I never was into country music until I kind of listened to him, and it's kind of slightly different country music. His voice is just amazing. It's hard to beat, but yeah. So that was my choice, Chris Stapleton. So caught up. I think everybody's still watching the game. Richard, over to you.
You look at the viewer count, it's like 3. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay. This band I fell in love with fairly early on. They're a band that I've seen several times in progressively larger and larger venues. Their first album was called, the first album I got into was called Alligator. Then it went to Boxer. Then it went to this album that I'm going to show. And literally, they went from being like a 400 seater act to a 2,000 seater act to thousands. I thought them at Red Rocks, put it that way.
Yeah.
And we're talking about the National. Absolutely love this band. I will say I almost started to go off with them when their lead singer is Matt Berninger, who is a great vocalist, and I need to get his solo stuff because I'm starting to really get him. There was a point where I got really tired of the sort of monotone baritone singing style that he uses throughout a lot of their albums. This one's no exception, but then they kind of changed it up, and their later albums to me have become more interesting versus kind of flat. But this is High Violet. It's kind of a high point in their catalog for me. Terrible Love is a devastating indie song. It's haunting and fascinating in equal parts. Blood Buzz Ohio was pretty big on this one. I love Runaway. Runaway is one of those songs. If I could go to a karaoke bar and say, "Do you have this really obscure national song?" I want to do it. I love Runaway. But yeah, the National, definitely a Sunday morning album, because it's just that there's so much going on, but it's all very low key and soft, with bombastic moments that just kind of keep you awake sometimes. But yeah, fascinating band. I particularly love Boxer. Start a War is another huge song for me from them. Absolutely love them. Seen them multiple times. Missed them coming to Denver their last time around. They toured. It was the National with War on Drugs, and I really wanted to go. The weather was atrocious, and it was an outdoor venue, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm not doing that."
The album that was big over in the UK was Laugh Track.
Yes, Laugh. They did 2 albums in 1 year that year. Laugh Track was one, and I can't remember the other one.
First 2 pages of Frankenstein.
What he said.
Yeah.
And both of them, to me, are equally good. I think I prefer Laugh Track over the other a little bit, but they're excellent.
Yeah,
they hit it big because they were on a Taylor Swift song when they Coney Island. Yeah.
And vice versa. But I agree with you, Richard. I almost chose that one. I almost chose that record because I think it's peak. And I agree with your trajectory. Like there was a time when I'm Easy to Find. I didn't love that record. But that, like the funny thing is in our house, whenever anyone gets a new thing like headphones, Bluetooth speaker, I always put on Blood Buzz Ohio. And now the girls do it. The girls got headphones. Like, what are you going to try it out with? I'm going to put on Blood Buzz Ohio. It's hilarious. So they get check out my laptop speakers, Blood Buzz Ohio. So funny. And they always, I don't know if they're still doing it. They usually round out their concerts with Vandelisle, Crybaby Geeks, which is a fantastic sing along. Have you been? I was at the first show I went to them. They did that song, but didn't sing it. The audience sang it, which I thought was a really cool moment.
Oh, that's neat. Yeah, I really want to get his solo album, Matt Berninger's solo albums, and I just haven't. I know they're good, but I just haven't got them.
I have the first one, Serpentine Prison, which Cecile likes more than the National, which I think is surprising.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, but I don't have the next one from this year.
I haven't even heard the new one, and that LV album, ELVE.
Oh, I have that too. Yeah,
I have it on CD, but I haven't played it in ages because I keep forgetting I have it.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, Brian, over to you, mate.
Well, this is a record where, honestly, I think after the first, you first get a record, you play it a lot. I think in the last 20 years, I've only ever played this on Sundays. It's not like it just sort of only comes out on Sundays, and that's The Dark Side of the Moon. And it might seem strange. I don't know why. It's sort of, to me, it just sort of is, I don't know, it sort of describes Sundays for me. I'm not quite sure why that is, but I bring this out on Sundays from time to time. It's been a while. And I'm not sure why that is. Anyway, this is a Canadian pressing from, I don't know when. I think I bought it in the 80s. It still has the poster and the the 2 posters and the stickers in here, untouched. And I don't know. There's nothing you can say about this record that hasn't already been said because it's from start to finish a classic record, with the exception of one track. I do like the track Money, but I just find it a weird inclusion on this record. I'm not quite sure that it fits. But,
totally agree with that.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that.
But other than that, this is a brilliant record, and I think it deserves the accolades it got. I think it's one of the best records ever made. And look at this. I've had this for probably 40 years or more, and it's in beautiful shape. So anyway, I think it's terrific.
How many copies have you got of that?
I have this, and I have a compact disc copy, and that is it.
Because I don't know if anybody watches Nick from the Vinyl Den, but he loves Pink Floyd. He's got like 20 variants of that album.
I never really got into that sort of notion. Even my favorite artist, I have one. Sometimes I have a second one, but I'd rather buy a different record than having a repeat of the same record. You know what I mean? Like I do the CD, sometimes double up on CDs and vinyl, but I tend not to buy, unless it was dirt cheap or someone gave it to me, I tend not to buy second copies of anything. Mm-hmm. The ones I have are probably accidents, probably.
I can't remember the name of the company, but they've made a turntable out of Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd.
Right.
And I think
Yeah.
Metallica had done the same with the same company, and it looks amazing.
Yeah,
Like-
I'm sure. But I mean, this is obviously a great record, and I didn't hear it though until sometime in the early '80s when I bought it. I hadn't heard the entire record, so it was a revelation when I heard it. So
Cool.
it's excellent.
Good choice. Yeah, it's all downhill from here on, boys. I'm next. Yeah, we're gonna do it the other way around next time, I think, because I'm losing left, right, and centre here. Okay. An album I listened to over the last year, probably the most. I know I've shown this a few times, but I love this album, and I've actually cancelled the pre-order that's coming out because it was just too expensive. But this is Bruce Springsteen. This is Nebraska. I still think this is my favorite Bruce album. I just love it from start to finish, and I can't wait to see the new film that's coming out surrounding this album itself. So I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, so I'll just show you the inside. This was from Vinyl Me Please. I didn't get it from Vinyl Me Please itself. I got it off eBay because I wasn't prepared to take the risk from buying it from Vinyl Me Please, to be honest, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But I remember, like, when I was a kid, I remember the song Atlantic City that I really liked. It was on Bruce Springsteen's first greatest hits we had on CD or tape back in the day. I always liked that song. And I also like Highway Patrolman. That's a brilliant one. State Trooper. It's an amazing album from start to finish. And obviously you've got Nebraska at the start. So, yeah. So I absolutely love this album. I'll quickly show the vinyl. This is on like a smoky gray. I don't know if this is going to show up properly. But
Ooh, pretty.
yeah. Yeah, I love this album. And as people who watch my show know, or channel, whatever you want to call it, I'm in the process of going back and collecting Bruce's back catalogue. So I don't know how you guys feel about Nebraska and that kind of thing.
I love Nebraska. I'm also, might surprise you to learn that I'm a Springsteen completist. I think I have everything except for the last greatest hits package. I have everything. I've been a fan since like 1980 or something. So, and I bought Nebraska, within the 2 or 3 weeks of it being released.
Okay.
So I've had it for a long time. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the box though. I'm interested in hearing that.
I was looking at it, but it was over £90 in UK. And I was like, I could get 2 albums for that. That's the way I was looking at it at the time. And they've completely sold out now in the UK. You can't get it nowhere. Amazon, HMV, completely sold. Gone.
It's not limited. It's not a limited edition, is it?
I'm not sure, to be honest. That's kind of weird because you'd think they want to sell more of them. Another good album I like of him is the Lost Tapes, the last one he brought out. Like the songs from didn't make the albums. That's a brilliant one. I just got a 2 LP on that one because I think it was a 9 LP box set that came out, and I was like, yeah, you'd spend 2 weeks trying to listen to
that. I did get that.
Did you?
Yes.
What are your thoughts on it? Would you go back and just buy the 2 LP, or would you still go the 9 LP box set then, Brian?
Well, I should say that I got it because I had a number of gift cards. So it didn't actually cost me anywhere near the value. I paid like, I think $75 equivalent.
Oh, nice.
I was saying at the time I showed it, it was like one of those weird things happening after the renovation because all of the appliances were put on my credit card. I had massive credit card turnover, so I got a lot of points, and I ended up with a huge amount of, because I could trade them in for Amazon gift cards. So I ended up paying very little for it. I don't know what's on the 2 album version of that. This box set is very sprawling. It's very expansive. There's certain things I like better than others. There's a couple of really interesting records. Inyo, for example, really surprised me. I think I like that I like that one quite a lot. The first double LP in there, I'm not sure it's a favorite, but I think there's a lot in there. There's some tracks that just are, it's just a track that it's not that interesting. But there are a few really interesting moments. I'd have to compare it to the double album to see what the difference is, but it's worth having if you're a Springsteen fan. It's got a nice book in it.
I like the song "You'll Miss Me When I'm Gone," which is on side 2 of the second LP.
Yeah.
but I haven't. To be honest, I haven't even gone back and streamed the whole 9LP.
Yeah, and I've listened to it the whole thing once, and I haven't. It requires me to go back again, right? So I haven't gone through it again. So yeah, that's a future.
Would you still recommend it, O'Brien? If anybody's out there, like, I wanted to convince me.
Well, I would say if you love the CLP extracts from it, why not?
Okay.
But it might be something that's better on CD, maybe, because it's going to be a lot cheaper. But
okay,
I don't know.
Right, let's go to the chat real quick. Morden, they sing in Swedish, but a smooth, nice Sunday. Listen, guys. Bo Casper's Orchestra. I hope I said that right. Mr. Walker, what's he put? I listened to Springsteen on the 8th.
Quintessential Rob Walker, of course.
Yeah.
Well done, mate.
Yeah, I was really late to the game with Nebraska too. I liked, Born in the USA, the live box, the River. Another one that might show up in this particular presentation if we have time. I'm not sure, but Nebraska I was late to. I picked it up maybe 6 months ago for the first time, kind of like Rob at Northern Revolutions, and got you hooked on it, and I was like, I'll try it. I really like Nebraska.
I think we were at the same time when we picked that up.
About the same time, pretty much.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I still love it to this day. I go back and forth with the Lost Tracks one on this one and that album, but yeah. One day I'll get the 9LP. We'll see. See how many vouchers I have for Christmas, and we'll go from there, right? Cool. Okay, what's Morton saying? Oh, good God.
Anita Takaram?
Yeah, we'll go with that. Sunday and Fall, perfect match. Norwegians love her. She's got a new album coming out. That Voice. Okay.
Cool.
Richard, I think is it Richard's turn next?
Yes. All right, another twofer, but they literally go together because they just do. I remember picking this up on CD for the strength of the single When Love Breaks Down. And I heard on MTV and I went, yes, this is such a cool song. I have to get this. So we're talking about Prefab Sprout. North America, this came out as Two Wheels Good. I do have that. Talk about albums I own multiple copies of. CD, the original, this one called Steve McQueen, which is the original title from the UK. What an amazing album. Perfect Sunday vibe. Mainly because it's so well produced. It's a beautiful sounding album. It has solid songs throughout. Farron Young, Bonnie, Appetite, When Love Breaks Down, just all of side one is just tremendous on here.
Yeah.
As is side two. Interesting for me is that I'm hit and miss with other Prefab Sprout albums, but so be it. Then came Record Store Day a few years back, and they did a acoustic version of this album. And I managed to finally pick it up. Of course, it's one of those albums where you could find this downloaded probably for free almost anywhere. I want it on vinyl. Also good. But again, just dials back the instrumentation, the big, the lushness of synths and keyboards and everything else that was on the original. But Prefab Sprout acoustic, neat little album to have. It literally mirrors the same track list and just does acoustic renditions of this album, which I can highly recommend to anybody into 80s lo-fi, if you will. I just think it's a beautiful album. But even other people say, oh, Jordan is the album for Prefab Sprout or this other album. I have several. I like them. I like Steve McQueen album the most.
Cool, mate. I've seen you mention them a few times, that band, and
just a few.
Yeah. Okay, so Rob saying one of my favorite albums of all time.
It's good. It is I would say it's their best album. But again, opinions are mixed. Other people like Langley, and they think that's their best album. So
Okay.
to each their own.
More than saying, perfect album, Richard. One of the few I own on 4 different media.
Or interesting.
Wow.
I have a CD and
Reel to reel.
reel to reel. 8-track? What? Cassette. I'm guessing cassette.
This comment threw me a bit on this profile. Dale's Music Store. Evening. I think that's Liz using my profile on the so because I run a YouTube channel for my local record store. I think she's used the wrong one. But good evening, Tandy. Cool. Okay. Right. Brilliant. What is he saying? I prefer Swoon. The deep
Swoon is another one. I have that one too. It's They all have their merits. I think as a whole, I prefer Steve McQueen.
Cool. Brian.
All right, let's go with this one. Some people have soured on this individual. I'm still a fan, I would say, of Morrissey. This is the reissue of Bona Drag. I bought the CD in 1990, I guess. I think that's when it came out. And this is the expanded version because it has 6 bonus tracks on side 4. But for me, this is like, if you only have one Morrissey release, this is probably the one to have because it collects the early singles that didn't appear on Viva Hate, etc. And then it has the better songs from Viva Hate, etc. I think it's just great. I mean, it's not the Smiths, of course. I still love the Smiths, but I think his first album and the first few singles for several singles were all equally as good as the Smith stuff, I think. And maybe I'm wrong, but it has, Piccadilly Polari, Interesting Drug, November Spawn the Monster, etc. The Last of the Famous International Playboys, etc. Goes on and on. Fantastic. I think they're really great tracks. And I saw him in concert only once. I wish I had seen him more, but this is a really good reissue, by the way. There's a poster in here. Do I want to unfold this poster? It's kind of giant. There is a poster in here.
Let's do a live
It's a giant poster. And this particular issue is on an interesting color of vinyl, by the way. This, which is wild. Nicely done inner sleeves. But I think it kind of works on a Sunday because it's not, it's kind of pleasant. I like it. I think it's great. So, I don't know. That's my pitch for Morrissey on a Sunday.
So, a comment from Rob, firstly. Morrissey equals God.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go that far, but I like Morrissey a lot. I have quite a lot of Morrissey and Smiths, as everyone knows. But I've seen Morrissey only once, and I was blessed to be sitting up in a box seat off to the side of the stage in a way that I could not see the screen projecting all the meanest murder images. Oh. I appreciate the concert so much more not having to see that. So,
yeah, when I saw him, he played at a place called Kingswood Music Theatre in Toronto, and I can't remember the date, but he actually mentions that concert in his autobiography. He talks about it briefly because it was a crazy atmosphere. There was all these, and I'm sure this happens many places, young men running up on stage to hug him and give him flowers. He did mention that. I thought it was quite funny, but it was a great show, by the way. Yeah.
So Morton saying, great one, Brian. It's a hatful of hail.
Fool Hollow. Good album, too.
Yep.
I considered showing the Smiths, and I was debating which one, and I couldn't decide, so I didn't show any at all.
Yeah. Tough call.
It's a tough call.
Again, I'm never going to follow that. So,
what?
I'm not going to follow Morrissey. I'm like, let's be honest. I knew I should have pulled Queen. So, an album I picked up this year from Rhino, and this is Wilco AM. This is a great album to have. Fantastic from start to finish. Alex from Beer and Vinyl actually put me onto this band, and he was showing this. I had some issues with the shoe, but he knows I've been going nuts about this one. But yeah, Great album. Love putting this on a Sunday. I love putting it on anytime, but I tend to listen to my music on a Saturday, Sunday because I'm usually working throughout the week. So it's kind of yeah. And I like the song "Box Full of Letters." That's an amazing track. So this was a out of 5,000, 4,812. Don't really matter. I just wanted the album, to be honest. So, and it came on Rhino. And I gotta give it to Rhino when it comes to packaging. They are absolutely spot on. Even their inner sleeves are truly amazing. So thank you to Alex for being vinyl for that recommendation, and I absolutely love it playing on a Sunday now. So yeah, it's great. So yeah, I think Liz has worked out what she's done. Oops. Adrian, how's it going? You're right. Hey, Chris. And here she is. Got it right now. Here you go. Well done, Liz. And Morrissey's Not Sunday Morning Music is, for me, it's Friday night music before the lads.
That makes sense.
So, yeah. There you go. I would like beat Morrissey, but Wilco, that album, I absolutely love it. AM, I think it's fantastic. And I love putting it on Sunday. I'm going to start picking up Wilco as I go along as I find them. So, yeah. So that won't be hard to beat, Rich, but it's over to you.
There's a handful of bands that I constantly compare to Steve Vai. And I was going to show Smoke Rings for my Halo, which is a great album, but decided more to go with the band that definitely fits a Sunday morning mood vibe for me. And it's related to Steve Vai. Yeah. But it's War on Drugs.
Oh.
I love the War on Drugs. Totally got hooked on them on Slave Ambient. And I can't tell you exactly what it is, but that sort of, they have this very, I can't say repetitive because it makes it sound negative. It's a very momentous beat that just keeps the song and the album moving throughout. I've always said I wouldn't want to be the drummer for the War on Drugs because it's so repetitive, but it pushes the songs forward throughout this album and Lost in a Dream, which is probably have become more of my favorite album by them. Saw them once live. It is fascinating. There's like 6 or 7 people in this band, and they're all on the stage, and they're all kind of doing their thing. But I love watching larger bands and how they communicate with each other on the stage, where you can see like, the bassist is paying attention to this person and paying attention to that person. This one's zoning out everything just to keep things going. And it's just really fascinating. I just love the vibe that slow living, simple life has been the sort of the mantra since I retired 3 years ago. Simple life, slow down. It's not a race. That sets the whole vibe for what the War on Drugs does for me. Alex, if he's still here, might argue that some of their later stuff is a little bit more bigger sounding. And I've tried. I really prefer their earlier stuff where it just has that beat that just keeps the song going and just keeps it moving and gives it that atmosphere. Yeah, wonderful band, War on Drugs.
So Rob is saying Lost in a Dream. Yeah, that's a good Sunday choice.
And it's a double album, so it's, that's a good morning.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Right. Brian, what have you got, mate?
All right, let's pick something from Canada. My favorite Canadian guitarist. This is Bruce Cockburn.
Oh, cool.
So Cockburn is how you pronounce that. I know some people think it's pronounced differently. Dancing in the Dragon's Jaws from 1979. I'm a big fan. Again, this is somebody I have everything he's ever released. Some things from him were never released on vinyl, unfortunately. But this is just a brilliant record. His guitar playing he's a virtuoso guitar player. He's almost 80 now, and I think he's lost the ability to play some of the early tracks because of arthritis. But the big hit on here, which you may know, is Wondering Where the Lions Are. I think it was a hit outside of Canada as well. Not certain though about that. You know, the one thing that I don't love about his music is that there's a strong, I shouldn't say I don't like it. There's a strong Christian thread that runs through his music. Sometimes it's more evident than others. It is evident here on tracks like Creation Dream, Hills of Morning, possibly No Footprints, I would say. But the music is so good that I kind of forgive that, because he is a tremendously talented guitar player. I would say the best guitarist out of Canada on the True North label. But beyond the title track here, this is a really amazing record. His guitar playing really comes through. It's kind of sometimes a bit of a jazzy, well, I'm not sure that's quite right, but anyway, interesting album cover as well. That's one of the few that don't have his
cool cover, Brian.
I think up until this time his face was on all the records, and then later. So this is an unusual one, but yeah, it's probably of the 20 some records he's released, 25, 30, I can't remember. This is probably my top 5 Bruce Cockburn records. It's really great. And it works on a Sunday. It's not discords or anything. It's pretty folky in a way. I would say folk is the overriding sound here. But yeah, really good.
Cool, good choice, mate. Right, I'm caught up in the chat. I will go next. I'm going to a British female artist next. I don't show this very often, but back in the early 2000s, she was quite big. And this is Katie Tunstall. This is called Eye to the Telescope. Telescope, sorry. Amazing album from start to finish. There's no fillers in this one. She hit a peak on this one and really didn't do anything after this. She's got a greatest hits out, but this is good enough for me. This is her not self-titled, but her debut album she brought out. Other Side of the World, Another Place to Fall, Under the Weather, Black Horse, and the Cherry Tree. Brian, check that one out. I think you'll like that one. That is a good track. Plus, got False Alarm, Suddenly I See. That was a massive one, you know. Suddenly I See. Yeah, just sing on my own then. And then you got Heel Over Through the Dark. So, brilliant artist from Britain. And she's currently touring. She just done a tour with Texas, the band Texas. Charlene, but amazing album. This came out on a coloured vinyl, so I'll show it. Came on like a red. Yeah, that's Katie Tunstall.
I have heard of her.
She's cool. She's not so bad anymore, but yeah. What's Rob saying? Lost in a Dream. Yeah, that's a Sunday choice. So cool. Right, Rich, over to you, mate. What have you got?
Ooh, we're coming up to the hour, so I'm going to pull out the big guns here. So this is a band from Iceland.
Okay.
I discovered them probably through a music video because it was around early 2000s, and I got lucky enough that they came to Washington D.C. where I was living, played at the 930 Club, which is an iconic venue, and did this album, which is Sigur Rós. I believe it's pronounced Gaitis Bírun. But I love this album. It is so atmospheric, it's almost ridiculous. But I saw them they were touring this album and their previous album, Vaughn, with very simplistic background images on the screen. But Jónsi doing his bow on his guitar, and it's just amazing to watch these people play. I've seen them so many times. I've seen them, twice in Washington, D.C. They played Red Rocks here in Denver. I saw them there on a later tour. Saw them on the Talk tour at a theater, a sit-down theater, where it was absolutely perfect for the music they play. But going back to the first time I ever saw them play at the 930 Club, which is a rock venue, not a single person said a word during this show because they were entranced by what was going on. It was unbelievable. It was just like, It was so good. Beautiful atmospheres. If you've never heard Sigur Rós, this would be a place to start. And later albums like Talk, which is really good. Some of their later singles. They even Yonsei even did a solo show, which I saw at the same venue where I've seen them later on. With some of the most magnificent visuals I've ever seen in a concert in my life. It was computer imagery transposed over 3D, just mapped out. Oh, it was amazing because it was like a windstorm comes in and things are blowing. Nothing's really there blowing, but visually it's happening. It was just astounding to watch. So Yonsei solo and Sigur Rós would be amazing Sunday spins. Atmosphere for days. Highly recommended.
Cool, mate.
Very good.
Never heard of them. Gotta be honest.
Really?
Give it a try.
Okay.
Especially that first album when it really sets. Well, that's not their first album, but that album really kind of sets the tone for what they've done then and since. Before was slightly different. It was a little bit more simplistic, but yeah. They're real, and they sing in Icelandic, but there's no English lyrics in some of their other songs. So it's really fascinating stuff to listen to.
Right. Let me just go to the comments real quick. So Adrian's saying, "Wow, I've heard of Katie, never heard her music. Yeah, go and check it out. Give it a stream. I think you may enjoy it. It's really good." Morton saying, "Good album, Chris. Bought my CD in South Africa at Katie Tunstall." Yeah. I've said it before. Went to school with Greg Holm, bass player in Sigur Rós, by the way, means victory.
Rose. That's right.
So there you go. Right. Brian.
All right, we'll do a shout out to Ben Rankins on this one.
I knew those coming. Go on.
I mean, it's hard to pick a favorite Van Morrison record, and I think first of all of his records would work on Sunday. For me, I would play them on Sunday. But this particular one, I think, is probably a fan favorite. Not only for the title track, which was a big hit, but every track on here, like Stone Me, Crazy Love, Caravan, Into the Mystic. These are all really fantastic tracks. I was late to the Van Morrison. I don't even know when the first Van Morrison record I owned was Beautiful Vision, which is a really odd one to start with, which I really love. And it certainly wasn't when it came out, it was after. So I was very, really behind the times in listening to Van Morrison, but I've loved everything that I have heard, some more than others, but I think this is a terrific record. It has a nice sort of atmospheric folky. Is it folky? It's a kind of R&B. It's kind of folky. It's kind of jazzy in a way, I guess. I'm not sure how to describe it, but really great for a Sunday, if you ask me. I don't know what Ben Rankins is thinking. he's kind of missing out, if you ask me. So I guess because it has a bit of a jazzy sound too. I guess pop, maybe, I don't know. It's kind of an all-encompassing record, and I think it's really good. Not much to say about that. I think it's a well-known record, so I don't know what I can add to it.
Brilliant, mate. Well done. Well,
yeah.
Let me just go through the chat real quick, lads. I'm looking at the time here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we've got time for another one. Rich, do you reckon we got time for another quick one or not?
Or we could do like a quick round of show several in rapid succession or something like that.
Yes. I got loads, mate. I brought loads just in case because I wasn't sure.
I could show like three more.
Okay, yeah, let's go three more. Right, let me go through the comments real quick. Yes. Sigur Rós language actually.
That's true. They call it Hoplandic. And so it's like an Icelandic / made up language.
Oh.
Hoplandic. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So let's go to a greatest hit, shall we? Zach Brown Band. Love listening to this on a Sunday. Kind of chilled out, relaxing. If you can get past Chicken Fried, it's actually quite a good album. Highway 20 Ride is my favorite. As She Walks Away. Colder Weather's an amazing song. Sweet Annie, The Wind, No Rush, Knee Deep with Jimmy Buffett on your whatever it is, toes free. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Another greatest hits I like to listen to on a Sunday is Three Doors Down, and only because you got the song Here Without You. I absolutely love that song. Back in the late 90s, 2000s, I want to say, this was quite big. But when they released the greatest hits, I was like, yep, that's me. I'm done. Quite happy with that. Got Kryptonite, When I'm Gone, Here Without You, It's Not My Fault, Let Me Go. Be Like That was on American Pie 2, Away from the Sun, Duck and Run, Days of Life, Goodbyes. And my final one for this evening is going to be Fleetwood Mac. So I love this album. Monday Morning is my favorite track on this one. And listening to it on a Sunday, realizing you got work on a Monday morning, always brings me to tears. So, yes, that is my selection for this evening. So I knew it was going to be quick because we're going through them quick. So, Rich, over to you, mate.
All right. Well, one genre that I didn't talk about, which actually dominates my Sunday morning spins, is jazz.
I thought you were going to say death metal.
No, not death metal. Not my forte. But everybody knows who Neil Schon is. Neil Schon is lead guitarist for Journey. Has had a long history of music success in different bands. I think he was in Santana and a bunch of other things. Anyway, Neil Schon also did some very, not new age, but more jazz flavored guitar solo albums. Has quite a few of them. This is my absolute favorite. It's called Voices, and it's covers. So instrumental covers of a great many big songs, done as only Neil Schon can play. And Neil Schon's known for his really rapid fingering on guitars, but not bad. Yeah, well, guitar. Chris, guitar. He's fast on the frets. There we go. Okay. But I'm talking about I Can't Make You Love Me.
Yeah.
On guitar. And it works so well. Conte Partido, which I really love. My Heart Will Go On. Killing Me Softly, even. You think that can't possibly work? This works on so many levels. This is one of my many, if I were driving at Sunday morning at 4 a.m. going on a long trip, this would be a great way to start my day. Another artist who's a fairly big guitarist from other bands, Craig Chaquico was with Jefferson Starship for years. And then, my favorite era of Jefferson Starship, got together with guitarist Russ Freeman out of the Rippingtons and did an album called From the Redwoods to the Rockies. And it has a very Southwestern flavor of instrumentals and is absolutely gorgeous. I could play this all the time. Met them both here in Denver at one time, and I had a signed copy of this CD. No, it wasn't in Denver. It was in DC when I met them. And yeah, it's vanished. Who knows where it went? Last one for me is going to be an album recommended by none other than Mike at the In-Groove.
Okay.
And it's a Mr. Bongo jazz album. And he pulled it out and he was like, I have no idea what this is. I'm going to play it. And then for the next 3 weeks of his, albums coming out on Friday, he constantly recommended it. And it's a South African jazz group called the Mancuco Quartet. And it is absolutely stunning. It's from 1968. It has an almost immediate familiarity to the playing. So you have a quartet jazz doing kind of fairly up-tempo, Coltrane-ish type sounds. Absolutely stunning album. Highly recommended. A lot of things out of that Mr. Bongo catalog have resonated with me pretty heavily. So yeah, jazz is a big mainstay. I don't have a lot of jazz albums, but I know what I like and I play what I enjoy. But those are 3 standouts that I always come back to a lot.
Cool, mate. Let me just go to the chat real quick. Love Mac. What else we got? Yes, Neil, Sean, yeah. And then I'm getting an absolute bolgan I am now. Christopher. What's she put? Such a child. Anyway, Brian, over to you, mate.
All right, quickly. How about Tubular Bells by Michael?
Oh, yes.
My cousin had this on 8-track tape way back in the day, and I was kind of captivated by it. So I don't know. Apart from the exorcism use, it's pretty good. Or the Exorcist, I should say. Pretty good. Yeah, I actually love Tubular Bells 2 as well. I think Tubular Bells 2 is really interesting. So that's an interesting one. Automatic for the People. Maybe their most peaceful record. I don't know. It's something about it. Like for me, like Find the River and Night Swimming just round this out great. Like Man on the Moon is fine, Drive is fine, but I love those. I love Night Swimming, and Find the River might be my favorite song in here. Really strong record. I'll just mention, since you mentioned Wilco,
yes.
Yankee Hotel Foxtrot. It's a fantastic record. I just think it's great.
Compared to AM, then Brian, what would you? Is that completely different?
I think this is better.
Okay.
Than AM. I the first AM is fine. I just find that when they got to this record and A Ghost is Born, I just think something extra happened with the band. So I think they got a lot better than the early stuff. The last thing I'll mention is a CD of Steve Reich's Music for 18 Musicians. He's a 20th century classical composer, which I think he's just fascinating. And this is one of my favorite. Well, this is probably my favorite classical, if I can call it classical, piece of music. Really, I don't have it on vinyl. There's a couple of versions of this, and I don't have it on vinyl, but I would love to find that. This is phenomenal. One person said when I played this, it gave them a headache, but the other person loved it. I think it's terrific. So I don't know. I think it's really good. I could go on, but I guess I'll stop there.
So you've got from my girlfriend Liz, Liz Tubular Bells, the Old Grey Whistle Test live version.
Great.
So
I should check it out.
And just on a sidetrack, I literally put this on my Instagram stories this morning. Nope.
Wrong one.
I played The Greatest Hits from Dire Straits this morning. Literally. I literally put it on Sunday morning listening. There you go. So that's the live stream. I hope everybody enjoyed. I'll go on the horn real quick. Richard, what's the plan this week, mate? What are you doing?
Right now, well, my school is on fall break, so there's nothing going on school-wise. I'm chilling out. I'm getting caught up with life because I so many balls up in the air. I'm going to think about the live stream again for Friday. We'll see where it goes. I don't know. I'm definitely going to, there's a couple of new threads that just came up today that I'm interested in looking at. So that might be my project for the week.
Cool, mate. Cool. Brian.
I have a few people's videos to catch up on. My goal, though, is to do the Infidelity contest entry about London. That's definitely going to happen this week. It depends on timing. I'm not sure. This is a busy week for me. But that's sort of that's the primary goal. I don't know if I might do two if something occurs to me, but that's my goal. The London thing.
Yeah, cool, mate. Liz is also saying Reach is also incredible. Genius.
Yeah, I agree.
Just so you know, my girlfriend is classically trained and she's in an orchestra, so she loves
okay.
I've told them, no, you're classically trained, Liz. So for me, and she is classically trained, I'm not taking the piss. So for me, I've got nothing planned at all. It's one of them weeks. It's one of them weeks where I've got no pre-orders coming in till end of October time. So I've got nothing on. Next week, though, I'm really excited about this one. Next week, for the live stream, I've got a Canadian special where we're just showing Canadian albums.
All right.
So if you are available, Brian, I've got Rob coming on. I've got Daryl coming on. I got Joe coming on. So, and then you got a Welsh guy from Tenby. Makes no sense, but yeah. But they've influenced me to buy Canadian albums or artists. So yeah, should be cool. And that's the plan for me. So I will leave a description of the panel for this evening. So go and check them out. Go and subscribe to them both. They've got amazing channels. from the vinyl community itself. I'd like to thank everybody who's left comments this evening. I'd like to thank my panel. Everybody's going to watch this later. I really appreciate it. Go and subscribe to these two guys' channels. They've got amazing channels as well. And so thanks for watching. I'll catch you next week. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.